Are you interested in effortlessly growing your Bitcoin portfolio? I sure am. The Bitcoin credit card by Gemini earns you Bitcoin back on every purchase. Use it like any credit card. Buy lunch, gas, or your weekly groceries, and you'll earn up to 4% back instantly in Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptos straight to your account. All that with no annual fee, and right now you can grab a $200 Bitcoin welcome bonus. It's the easiest way to start building your Bitcoin stack. Go to Gemini.com/card to learn more. Terms apply. See the link in the description for more information regarding rates and fees.
Check it out now.
The numbers told the story, they always do. It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. Don't know what happened to that first word. Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. Gill Alexander. Alongside me is the young, the talented, the weight loss juggernaut that is Kelley Bydlon.
What an introduction. Thank you, Gill Alexander. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Sorry about Survivor. Start there.
Yeah. Your boy's out. See ya.
Who did you think to pick, and then who did you end up picking?
Bro, I don't know. You want to go to these mental gymnastics? We sat here Friday, and I was like, it's going to be Falcons. It's going to be Falcons. I'm 95% sure it's going to be Falcons. And then, I feel like I've caught heat about this on Twitter. Sorry things change from Friday to Saturday, right? But you have injury reports start going south. You got Drake London pops up. Yep. The Jets injury report starts looking worse. So Saturday I'm in full, I don't know what to do.
Well, we didn't even know about Cousins at that point Friday morning.
Exactly. Yeah. We were hearing about we knew Penix had been hurt, but we didn't know how bad it was going to be, right?
Didn't. We had no idea.
So it's Saturday I'm staring at it. I'm like, Drake London's popped up. I'm either getting injured Penix or Kirk Cousins going, so I decided to bail off the Falcons.
And you went to
Cincinnati Bengals. Go. Honestly, the only thing that's that I'm upset about is for 2 straight weeks. I sat here on the show and I said, Patriots. I have scheduled to go Patriots. And for 2 weeks in a row, I figured out reasons to not go Patriots at the end.
Well, for those who are still alive in Survivor, Circus Survivor, congratulations to you. If you're still alive in any of your Survivor contests, congratulations to you. But we'll do it through the prism of Circa to start off the show on a guessing lines for week number 9. This was big. This was a big week in terms of eliminations. The Falcons, who are the second most selected team this week, really 1A behind the Colts, lose badly. To the Miami Dolphins, and then the Bengals just snatched defeat from the jaws of victory against the previously winless Jets. And so, of the remaining entries that entered Week 8, 48.81% knocked out. And so now, as we look at the 6 years of Circa Survivor through 8 weeks, and we know we have one more game tonight, but tonight's game won't be of any consequence unless the Chiefs somehow get upset. 88.48% of all entries that began are toast, which now brings this year to the 3rd most carnagey year, just eclipsing 2023. We'll never compete with 2022 and last year in terms of the eliminations percentage-wise up until this point. But we sneak into 3rd place in terms of the biggest carnage. 2,157 of the remaining 18,718 entries remain. That's it. However, looked at differently, 2,157 entries still remains much more than actually entered the very first year of Survivor, when this show was the only one hyping it up back in the dark ages of Survivor.
That is wild.
Yeah. So 2,157 left, but each of those entries, the intrinsic value of each now, Kelley Bydlon, $8,677.79.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man.
Hey, man, it happens.
It's never easy. It's never fun.
No, it's not. Good on the people that had the Colts available, honestly. That was...
And that's what it is, right? And the people who avoided the Cardinals the week that I had them had already used the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. A lot. Here, by the way, in Grandissimo, two eliminations. So we are down to 13. One person has the Chiefs tonight. But we're down to 13 entries in Grandissimo, which is a $100,000 entry fee, of course. 9 still had the Colts available. So there you go. And the Bengals were completely avoided.
Yeah, nobody even used them there.
Completely avoided in Grandissimo. We'll get into all this. By the way, this is Guessing Lines. Pardon me. What's going on? Good. Guessing lines for week number 9 in the National Football League. And for those, who say, oh, how do we go through this guessing lines experience? Well, once again, last week, 3-1 on the guessing lines instincts. I'll say it every week. It was 2-0 the week before, right? 3-1 again. What did guessing lines produce last week? An instinct on the Chargers, where they won easily Thursday night. An instinct on the Packers, who won easily in the end last night. An instinct on the Broncos. All I did was take Cowboys incoming all week long, it felt like. And the only one we got wrong on guessing lines last week, the bet wasn't made during guessing lines, but it still counts as a guessing lines play. It just wasn't available because Houston hadn't played yet, was the Niners, who got destroyed in a manner that was reminiscent for a long time of the Raiders' performance against the Chiefs last week, which we'll get into all of that. But anyway, the point of this exercise, I don't know the lines. I will guess them. Kelley will tell me what they are. The point of this whole exercise, and hopefully you're playing along yourself, is to extract value. And often the first instinct is the best one, because then the rest of the week, we convince ourselves to do other stupid things. Like for me and millions, adding the Falcons as a play, for instance, right? Yeah. Or on the Megapod, adding the Falcons as a play, because lines had already moved by that point, or you just convince yourself of other things. So,
5-0 millions week for me. This is
bang. Look at you.
You know what the last 3 weeks are? 5-0, 4-1, 4-1. I still. Do you remember what I said last week though?
I wasn't. It was. Is that is that part of a quarterly?
Yeah, but the week before that started the quarter 1-4. I am still. We are 8 weeks through the season. I have not had a 3-2 or 2-3 millions week. Isn't that incredible?
I know of someone in the top 20 who has not had a 5-0.
That's pretty tough too. Yeah,
has not had a 5-0, and is just sort of living in the middle. You're doing the opposite. You're living on the ends.
I'm living on the ends, and it's like exactly 500 too. That's the most comical part.
My whole season is colored by my 0-5 from week 1, and I'll never be able to catch up to it.
That's what I've got. Ugly weeks too.
Yeah. By the way, the most selected circa picks, the Bears were number 1, the Steelers were number 2, Niners were number 5, Bucks and Bills wedged in there.
Man, I did not get the Steelers love. Both in millions. I mean, me and you were both on the Packers, so I mean, easy to say now, but like the Steelers love not only in millions, I didn't even see this, but then they got steam before the game too. That was down to 2.5 a couple places. I added on more on the Packers that game.
Let's do a Thursday night game for guessing lines. Week number 9 in the National Football League. Hit it. Now, again, the point of this is we'll recap all the games from yesterday. Leads us to guesses, leads us to the actual lines. Hopefully we extract value. What is Thursday night? Or do we have a international game against Sunday this week coming up?
We do not.
Good. I enjoyed not having an international game this week. Hate to say it.
I like how you jumped ahead to that. But
sorry.
No, it was great. It was fantastic. I'm right there with you.
Didn't have to get up that early.
I feel so much more rested this Monday morning. Thursday night football begins with the Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins.
All right, Baltimore with the proverbial must-win situation yesterday against the Bears. That was another controversy, right? No Lamar Jackson in the end.
Yep.
The Ravens have taken incoming from the league on this investigation. Wait a minute. I thought Lamar played a full practice. Then it was limited. Then it was not at all. And the Ravens' explanation, John Harbaugh's explanation was, well, he did participate in a full practice. It just wasn't with the first team. So trust me, we're not trying to conceal anything.
Yeah.
So it was a whole thing.
Gil, good thing there wasn't any massive issue in sports last week with injury reporting or anything,
Or just shenanigans.
Yeah.
Baltimore does get it done, though, with Tyler Huntley as the starting quarterback. It was 6-0 Chicago at the end of the first quarter on 2 Santos field goals. Baltimore then went 62 yards, Henry in from 2 to take the lead 7-6, 8:15 left in the second quarter. Later, it would get to 10-6. And on a Tyler Loop 42-yard field goal. And then at the end of the first half, one of a couple fire drill attempts at field goals at the end of halves, Santos short on a 58-yard try will remain 10-6. Then 13-6 in the second half on a Loop 28-yarder, then another Loop chip shot, 16-6. Chicago would make it close. Then an 11-play, 83-yard drive, Swift in from 3, 16-13 Baltimore. With 12:22 left in the fourth quarter, the game was still in the balance. Then Baltimore 4th and 5 at the Chicago 39 with just under 10 minutes left. They decided to take a delay and punt. Did you have a problem with that? I kind of noted it. I'm like, okay. 4th and 5 at the Chicago 39 up 3.
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
I was like, okay, we're punting. Chicago, though, it worked out, pinned at the 4, then the 2-yard line after a delay. Anyway, 2nd and 10 at the 4. Caleb picked by Nate Wiggins, who jumped the route beautifully. Baltimore set up at the Chicago 9, second play. Huntley to Charlie Kolar from 10 out wide open, 23-13 with 8:13 left. It would get to 23-16 on a Santos field goal with 5:06 left, but then Baltimore put it away. 9 plays, 66 yards, 3rd and 7 at their own 48. A conversion was key. Huntley to Hopkins for 14. 4 plays later, Henry in from 2. 30-16. That's how Baltimore would win it, as Chicago would turn it over on downs, down 2 scores late. So Baltimore gets it done. They are at Miami. Miami crushes the Falcons. God, did I get that one wrong. It was not a guessing lines play, but later in the week, I just added it as a millions. Miami, second time they had the ball, matriculated, 4th and 1 at the Atlanta 8. Ollie Gordon for 1, 2 plays later, 2 and 8. Chan from 3 outs, 7-0. Late first quarter, then 7-3. Miami 3rd and 7 at the Atlanta 15. This is in the second quarter. Tua gets the ball knocked up in the air. Sure pick, but 2 Atlanta defenders collide. J.D. Bertrand should have had it, but he bumps into his teammate. And so the Dolphins, instead of having a pick there, get a Patterson field goal 10-3. Next time they'd have the ball, that was really the moment for Atlanta if they were going to make a game of it, as it turns out. Next time Miami had the ball, 82 yards, 2 to Malik Washington. Beautiful pass from 9 out. 17-3 Dolphins at the half. And then in the second half, second time Atlanta had the ball, helped by a PI and Cousins to Bydlon, 17-yard pickup, 1st and 10 to Miami 19. Bydlon hit by Ifeatu Melifonwu, fumbles right to Terrell Dodson.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you knew. I was like, oh, if you had Atlanta in Survivor, that was the moment you were like, we're not winning. It's over. Miami goes 84 yards immediately. 2 at a Waddle from 43 out. Dead sprint. No one's catching him. 24-3. Next time, Miami set up at the Atlanta 41 because Atlanta turned the ball over on down. 7 plays. 2 at a Gordon for 20. Touchdown. 31-3. It would end 34-10 on a garbage touchdown. Baltimore minus. This is tough because I'm going to assume Lamar. But I don't know. Their defense still stinks. Yeah. Baltimore. So I'll say Baltimore minus 5.5. No man's land?
7.5.
Ooh,
This
that's
is very much taking into account Lamar Jackson once again this week.
Yeah, but their defense, does he play defense?
No, he does not, Gill.
That seems high to me. Am I racing about the Dolphins? No. More guessing lines coming up.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
First Bet is the official racing partner of VSiN, and they're thrilled to bring an exclusive offer to bet the Breeders' Cup World Championships. We got to get Four Natal and Felica in here. We got to talk Breeders' Cup this week. Use promo code VSINBC. That's VSINBC. And you'll be entered to win a VIP Vegas experience when you deposit and bet $200. That's VSINBC, as in Breeders' Cup. Plus, when you deposit and bet just $100, you'll get a 1-year VSiN Pro subscription for access to exclusive content, picks, and more. Bet the Breeders' Cup with First Bet, the official racing partner of VSiN, with promo code VSINBC at first.com/VSiN. That's the number 1 ST.com/VSIN. So in other words, Kelley, though the company's name is First Bet, it's not firstbet.com, it's first.com/VSiN. Don't make that mistake. 1st.com/VSiN. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Always appreciate the feedback from everybody. This is from Chris Heath. The great equalizer has yet to come into play this week. Oh, what he's referring to is the spread, which means that every favorite has covered, or every dog has won. Every dog that won outright. So there has no been. I'll say it better. There's been no favorite that has won but not covered. In what I will just say from a viewer standpoint, was one of the worst Sundays of NFL viewing. If there was no such thing as betting, and in-game betting, and all that kind of stuff,
contests and
props,
everything, yeah.
Contests, whatever. Good God, that was not the day yesterday.
I didn't realize it was so bad. I heard this on NFL Today this morning, podcast coming in. 19 points per game was the average margin of, or 19 points was the average margin of victory this week in the NFL. That is the most since 2009.
I wasn't imagining it.
8 games were decided by 18 points or more.
Matthew Mayberry, since he dominated the whole game and took their foot off the gas, I took a chance this week and went Chargers, but the Bengals were my next option. Lucky to not end up on the Bengals myself. V. James Lloyd, my initial reaction from guessing lines last week, I would have gone 4-1, overthought it, ended the week 4-3. Guessing lines, the best practice to find value. Thank you, James. Todd Bubba Horwitz. I had Atlanta on one of my Survivor entries. The good news, they left no doubt that I had no chance. Typical Atlanta no-show. And the real Knicks, it's only fitting that Left Eye Tua played his best game of the year in the home of TLC, talking about Atlanta.
Left eye Tua. Did you catch that? A pregame, like Tua with like basically looking out of one eye?
Yeah.
I had to have made every Falcons backer feel better too. And then no. Tua's best game of the season.
Left Eye, T-Boz, and Chili, of course, who he's referring to there with TLC. Atlanta was held to 213 total yards in that loss to the Dolphins. Atlanta's just second drubbing of the year at the hands of a doormat team. The Dolphins and the Panthers now crushed them earlier. This one was Cousins. By the way, Kirk Cousins looked every bit like he had not played football in a long time.
Yes.
Sure. And the Bydlon usage, by the way, I know we're not even talking about Atlanta, but the Bydlon usage was so strange. But good for Mike McDaniel, man. Good for the Dolphins. Good for him to get a little criticism off his back. And the thing with the Ravens, talking about that game, the Ravens at the Dolphins this week, which I guessed 5.5, and turns out it's 7 or 7.5, which I think is too heavy. But the thing with Baltimore, again, you're 2-5, and in a division where the leader has 3 losses, you are very much alive to make the playoffs. You can just play a little defense. What's on Sunday? Let's go.
Sunday, early window, Bears at Bengals.
Ugh, those are that's not a fun game to start the morning with. 4-3 Bears now against the 3-5 Bengals. Chicago, by the way, we already mentioned, losing to Baltimore. Caleb was 25 for 38 for 285 in defeat. Odunze, 7 for 114. They outgained Baltimore. Chicago did 372 to 355. Cincinnati, and what was the only real heart-stopping game of the weekend and of the week in the National Football League thus far, against the Jets. Didn't start out that way. It was a real, turned into a just an absolute sprint of a football game. But 3-0 Bengals early. Jets, fourth play. They've had the ball 4th and inches at their own 37. Brees, 2-yard loss. Cincinnati set up at the Jets 35, 5 plays. Flacco in from 1, 10-0 Bengals. 5:35 left in the first quarter. Couple times later that the Bengals had the ball is 10-3 now in the second quarter. Cincinnati, 3 plays, 69 yards. Flacco to Jamar for 17, then to Jamar for 8, then to Higgins for 44, touchdown. 17-3 Bengals. 10:45 left in the second quarter. You're like, same old Jets. Except the Jets then went 9 plays, 78 yards. Fields to Tyler Johnson from 15 out on 4th and 2 at the Cincinnati 15. Touchdown, 17-10. Bengals, 5:18 left in the second quarter. Cincinnati comes right back. 10 plays, 65 yards. Flacco to Chase Brown for 19, 24-10. The half would end 24-13. Then the second time the Jets would have the ball in the second half, and from here on out, it was just a track meet. Isaiah Davis, 59-yard run, the big play. Folk, 24-yard field goal, cuts it 24-16. Then the Bengals, once the Jets got within one score, like, all right, we'll take care of that. 8 plays, 65 yards. P. Ryan in from 32. 31-16 Bengals, 2:34 left in the third. Jets respond, 6 plays, 66 yards. Brees for 35. The big chunk, 3 plays later. Brees in from 5, touchdown. Fields outruns everyone on the 2-point conversion. 31-24 Cincinnati, early stages of the fourth quarter. Cincinnati's like, wait, one score? We'll take care of that. 7 plays, 73 yards. P. Ryan for 21 to start. Chase Brown in from 1 to end it. 38-24 Cincinnati. 10:21 left. Jets, 5 plays, 60 yards. 4th and 1 at their own 49. Fields to Jeremy Rucker for 24. Next play, Brees in from 27. Incredibly stays in bounds. And Aaron Glenn, Kelley, says, let's go for 2. Down 38-30, a little more than halfway left in the fourth quarter. Fields to Isaiah Davis, converts.
Did you hear the broadcast?
Barely. 38-32 Cincinnati, 7:52 left. They were befuddled, weren't they?
Yes. Not even like the conversation about like, well, like, you know, this has been a thing recently, like in the NFL.
Nothing.
They were like, what are they doing? Like, it's 14. Like, you got to make it 2 touchdowns.
Like
what is going on?
Like they were brand new to the sport.
Yeah. And then like 3 minutes later, I don't know who got brought in, but someone got brought in to finally explain the thing.
That's so unacceptable.
I thought it was too. The 2-point conversion, I'm still a little like, we sure, Gill? We sure that was in?
38-32, and then the Jets finally get a Cincinnati 3 and out. So the Jets from their own 42 with 6:50 left. Fields to Arian Smith for 23 to start. 8 plays later, Brees to Mason Taylor on a halfback option where he double clutched it, and then Mason Taylor catches it facing the quarterback over the D-back's head who's facing him. It was awesome.
Yeah. Do you back up? Maybe try to get your head around so you can see what's going on. I love those plays, though. When it is the running back or wide receiver with the pass option, that ball is getting thrown 99.9% of the time. Like, it's my only chance. Like, it was such a terrible throw. It should have gone out of the back of the end zone.
Yes, the running back's instinct is, well, this is my moment. I got it. It's my chance to throw it. 39-38 Jets with 1:54 left. Cincinnati gets it to 1st and 10 at their own 44. All they need is a field goal. Incomplete on first down. 1 yard gain on second down. Flacco under duress throws it away on third down. And 4th and 9 incomplete over the middle intended for Iosivas. Ball game. And the Jets win a football game. The last winless team gets their first win. Flacco was 21 of 34 for 223 in defeat. Jamar still filling up the box score with 12 catches for 91 yards. But the Bengals gave up 502 total yards to the Jets. That can't be right. Check the box score. Did I write that down wrong? 502 total yards.
And half of them on the ground.
Chicago at Cincinnati. All right, I'm going to split the difference between the pick'em and the 3. I'll say Cincinnati minus 1.5.
You are on the other side. Chicago won 1.5 right now.
Oh, wow.
And your total has skyrocketed up to 53 this morning.
I was going to say, what's the total on this game? Nobody's stopping anybody.
Bengals are back to basically just being, I mean, they've shown enough on offense to be like, hey, you're a dead over team. So, yeah, it's...
what did it open as? If you said it got up to 53.
I think like 50. Hold on one sec.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
we got 53s on the board. 51-ish is where we opened.
Bears by 1.5? Okay, sure. Again, just like the first one, which I think is off. I don't have the conviction to immediately bet it, though.
Yeah, I don't even know about a teaser leg for me this week on the Bengals either.
Let's do this one right here.
It's a high total, weird things.
What's this one?
All right, still early window. Vikings at the Lions.
3-4 Vikings, 5-2 Lions. The Lions were idle this week. Minnesota played the Chargers on Thursday night. Did not look good with Carson Wentz. This is going to be J.J. McCarthy, though. They've already announced. KOC saying this is J.J. McCarthy week. Not that that should matter. By the way, Wentz was 15 of 27 for 144 Thursday night against the Chargers. Got sacked 5 times, and they were outgained by the Chargers 419 to 164. 39-04 to 20-56 in time of possession. They were just destroyed.
Do we have that official, or is it the mini hedge still, as long as he's healthy?
I heard official.
Okay.
I heard official. Maybe I
expected to start barring any setbacks.
There you go. Expected to start barring any setbacks.
So they leave themselves that mini hedge.
Sounds official, but you know what they
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I split the difference between the 7 and the 10 here. I said Detroit minus 8.5.
Yeah, you're about spot on. 8.5. Looks like books are trying to get out of teaser range on this because I completely understand that. 8.5 to 9.5 most places. 8.5 over at DraftKings.
Makes sense to me. Do I really want to bet the Bengals or the Dolphins based on those numbers? I do not. I really don't.
I already jammed Lions in one teaser. That is one of the teaser legs of the year to me. If that comes down a little bit, 8.5 at DraftKings.
We've kind of found value, or at least I think I have already, but yet don't love betting them. Haven't bet them. We'll see if we can get both things to happen. Guessing Lines, Week 9, National Football League, coming back on a numbers game.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
The sports equinox is here when all 4 major leagues are in action at the same time. Celebrate the best time of year for bettors with a VSiN Sports Equinox special. Sign up now, get full VSiN Pro access to everything we do through May 1st for only $120. It's less than $20 a month. You'll get daily best bets from hosted guests, DraftKings Circa and Brocco betting splits updated every 5 minutes, AI-driven prop projections and matchup tools, 24/7 live and on-demand video on the VSiN Watch app, plus exclusive coverage for the World Series, football season, NBA and NHL regular seasons, March Madness, and the NFL Draft. Don't wait. It's a limited time offer. It will not last. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe today. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. By the way, of course, Game 3 of the World Series is tonight as well. Adam Burke will join us momentarily. Not momentarily, but after we go through the Week 9 Guessing Lines process to talk World Series Game 3 a little later on.
Let's go Dodgers.
You were mentioning that they took the ping pong table and then the Xbox out of the Ravens locker room.
I didn't catch this on Sunday, but yes, apparently the Ravens have had enough, as at least one professionals franchise in sports does every single year. Gill, you must remove the ping pong tables from the locker room.
Can't have that kind of distraction.
That was done in Baltimore. They got rid of the video games too, and obviously you see the results on the field.
We get sweets at Betty the Book. Andy V Did you also notice in one of the 1 p.m. games, replay assist? Oh, he's talking about replay assists yesterday. Did you notice in the 1 p.m. games? I think he's East Coast, maybe he means the early games. Replay assist picked up a flag. Wasn't the NFL adamant that it cannot interfere with penalties just 2 weeks ago with the Lions-Chiefs debacle? Well, Andy V, I just want to shout out Chris Collinsworth for finally, is it Terry McCauley who does there? I can't ever remember who the officiating.
I believe so.
Who finally took him to task and pinned him down. What's the replay assist story? He did this in the closing stages, or right after, I should say, the Packers-Steelers game last night, because in that game alone, we had a situation where there was a movement of a Steelers offensive lineman that didn't get called. Yeah. And then, but then subsequent to that, there was a Packers defensive lineman who completely went offside.
One of the most absurd non-calls I've ever seen.
But I love all the Steelers people are like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Did you just see your offensive lineman move 3 seconds early? You didn't say anything about that. Anyway, he jumps off sides. There's no flag. And then they congregate. And for a moment there, it looked like replay assist was going to make them throw a flag after the fact. Thank God they didn't, because I'd have lost my mind. And then later in the game, and we'll get to the Packers game, later in the game, there's a touchdown by the Steelers late, had no consequence to anything in terms of the outcome. But it's a 1, 2, 3. It was a ball that was caught in the end zone, and 3 steps came down, and then the ball was knocked down. A catch was not completed, but it was ruled a touchdown by replay assist. And because initially it was ruled not a catch. And the explanation given to us was anything that is obvious or can be determined almost instantaneously, replay assist can come down and adjudicate. It's ridiculous.
It's another one of those. First of all, you're right. Good job, Chris Collinsworth. I actually ended up, I was ready to turn that game off and go to bed, start getting ready to go to bed. I actually watched that longer because Collinsworth was grilling him about the questions. It was good.
And he did get an admission. That this is a work in progress. Yeah. That's all I wanted. I was like, just admit that you're just making it up week after week. It's an evolving thing.
Unfortunately, none of it surprises me anymore, Gill, but the past couple years, the evolution of what a catch is in the end zone versus what a catch is in the field of play, it's become a little difficult because it's almost like the instantaneous, right? The way they explained it on the broadcast, I don't necessarily have a problem with for what they've treated it the past several years now, but if you see that at the 40-yard line, it's not a catch because the ball's going to get smacked out afterwards. But it's 1, 2, 3. He got 3 steps in, fine. Doesn't matter what happened after that. He's holding onto the ball, got 3 steps down. We're calling it a touchdown. And because it's in the end zone.
I don't think I knew that necessarily. Because you didn't complete the catch. I guess it's only the ground where you have to complete the catch, but apparently upright you don't have to complete the catch.
Yes.
And then there was a play in the Denver game where, again, thank God that one was explained, where it's like, okay, the third step didn't come into play. Because if the third step had come into play, what I thought we were seeing was a heel toe out of bounds was going to be ruled a touchdown. And we had just established the week before that a toe heel out of bounds was not a touchdown. But it turns out that step didn't matter. Yeah. So thank God for that. But I'm just saying, it's like we've watched a million football games, all of us, and the rules are just they're like an egg on a plate, man. That's not the right analogy. It's just it's a moving target with some of these things. And once you think you know, you don't really know.
It just feels like like you're talking about the going down to the ground. It's the process of the catch, right? The process of the catch rules are slightly different in timing wise, different in the end zone than they are in the rest of the field of play.
John Massey. It was the incredulous nature of the commentary too during the Jets game. You only do that, meaning go for 2 down 8.
Dude,
if you have a chance to win, unquote. They're going for 2 to increase their percentage of winning, literally, he says. Tim Bowers. Gill, last week I tweeted about Survivor PTSD and cheering against those picking the Bengals. Well, let me introduce you to Survivor Karma, as all but one of my entries were on Atlanta. Oops.
I'm looking for T-shirts. Derek Stevens, you ain't selling T-shirts. I got the Bengals knocked me out of Survivor again, and all I got was this crappy T-shirt. This is 3 years in a row for me, I think, by the same team.
James NTU 89. I fade both Atlanta and Cincy this weekend. Just bragging. I'm a happy camper. Bet in the woods. My first year in Survivor. Had 3 of 4 left week 8. I woke up this morning wondering which pick I was going to take week 9, then realized the Falcons stole my remaining entries. Is it normal for me to have so much hate in my heart for the Falcons? Please advise. Yeah, it's normal. I think it's normal. Mm-hmm. And then Mark Maynard with, because you came back, Mark, I got to read it. This is one of the worst tweets I've ever gotten. Preemptive Gill's Drake May hate rant. You hate May because your beloved taco holders passed on him. Oh, God. Yeah, that's it. But it's now clear there are 3 tiers of quarterbacks, May, Mahomes, and everyone else who needs a quarterback as good. Someday the Wolf could have a chance to draft a May. You got to stop it, man.
3 tiers?
Yeah, I don't know. He said Mahomes, May, and everyone else.
Whoa, wait. Three tiers? Did he list Mahomes or May first?
I think he gave May his own tier.
That's what I was trying to figure out. All right.
Vey. Stop it already with this. Again, nothing against the kid, but here are the teams they've beaten. You ready? Again. The New England Patriots. Competition matters, people. They've lost to the Raiders and the Steelers. They've beaten the Dolphins, Panthers, Bills. We'll allow that one. Saints, Titans, and Browns. Everybody relax.
It is incredible.
Especially you, Scott Hansen.
By the way,
everything May does is a cataclysmic event for Scott Hansen. Incredible.
It's wild. It's wild. Shout out to Matt Yoder over at Awful Announcing, who I just Googled and has written up a full detailed story on every NFL team that has removed or put back in ping pong tables over, I think, the past 5 years, and it is a long list of teams.
Someone needs to do a deep dive on what the results were the following weeks after removal of the ping pong table.
Well, there's and some added though, Kill, because some their player, but like Mayo came in apparently in New England and was like, hey, we got to change the rough Belichick times around here. Let's have some fun. We'll put some ping pong tables in.
What's that?
And then that doesn't work. All right, early window Panthers at Packers.
Packers going to take too long. What's the next one after that?
Chargers at Titans.
All right, let's do that one. Chargers beat the Vikings, as we mentioned on Thursday night. Justin Herbert, 18 of 25 for 227. Kamani Vidal, 23 carries for 117 and a touch. They outgained Minnesota, as we mentioned, 419 to 164. Just crushed them. And then Tennessee yesterday. Tennessee falls to 1-7. They lose to the Colts. Colts was the easy peasy survivor play, and it was as easy as advertised. Colts led it 3-0. Next time they got the ball, Colts, 8 plays, 73 yards. Taylor in from 18, 10-0, closing seconds of the first quarter. Then Tennessee, as they like to do, right? It kind of is competitive with them for like a quarter and a half. Pretty much every week, it feels like. 6 plays, 69 yards. Tyjae Spears, 41-yard run on 3rd and 6 at the Indianapolis 42. Leads the next play. Ward to Gunnar Helm from 1 out, 10-7 Colts with 11:14 left in the second quarter. But the Colts put an end to that real quick. 6 plays, 71 yards. Jones to Pittman from 21 out. Jones to Pittman from 21. Incredible catch, pinning to his body. 17-7 Colts halfway through the second quarter. Then Ward misses an open Iomanor deep. He does that. Sly, 58-yard try at the end of the half, wide right. So it's 17-3 at halftime. Tennessee, first time they get the ball in the third quarter. 4th and 3 at the Indianapolis 42. They punt. Can we just talk about that for a second? You're down 14. No, excuse me, you're down 10. 4th and 3 at the Colts 42. Early third quarter, you punt. Yeah, come on, man. You're the Titans. What are you being so cautious about? You're down 10. Then Indianapolis, 1 play, as if to say that was the most stupid thing ever. Jonathan Taylor, 80 yards, longest touchdown run of his career. He stays in bounds, 24-7 Colts. 4th, 3 at the Indianapolis 45. Ward sacked by DeForest Buckner. Indianapolis set up at the Tennessee 46. They convert a 4th and 1 at the Tennessee 37. JT for 4. Then 2 plays later, Jones flipped past Jonathan Taylor from 19 out, 38-7. I don't know. It's just on and on. They win at 38-14 to the Colts. This is the Chargers at the Titans. I will say the Chargers minus, based on previous lines, 7.5 at Tennessee.
That was pretty close to open, Gill. Just pulling this up real quick. 8.5 at open. We're out to 10 most places.
Okay, that's too many.
10.5 at FanDuel.
Come on, the Chargers? Really? You're going to lay that with the Chargers?
On the road.
No. Coming back.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody. Producer number 9. So much more than a producer. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Y'all are the best. Shooter McGamlin. Gill, I didn't like Baltimore punting on that 4th and 5 that you mentioned. I also think that was a boneheaded challenge by Harbaugh on the forward progress fumble. I think John may be losing his fastball.
Oh, you know what? I caught that like halfway through. I was a little confused on that fumble, too.
I'm trying to think if I even remember it.
I literally picked it up at the end, like the end of the replay.
It is funny how losing, though, shines light on things that you wouldn't have noticed with the opposite in so many years. GV, by the way, Chrissy Andrews, my mishpucha, who always used to say famously, he's like, Bill Belichick's the best coach, John Harbaugh's the second best coach. Even he conceded earlier in the year. He's like, yeah, I don't know about John Harbaugh these days.
It's not a good look this year. I mean, with everything, you can say injuries, but this team, even when they were there, the defense was terrible. Lamar didn't look all that great at the beginning of the year. Maybe he was dealing with a hamstring the entire time, but still.
Shouldn't have cut Owen Wright last year and manipulated him.
That's right.
Sorry.
King of the kneel down. Come on.
New Jersey, New York. Kelley complaining about catches in the end zone versus catches at around the 40-yard line. My man, have I got a complaint for you about that Tuchus Bush and Giants Eagles. So the ball's ripped out before the whistle, but it's forward progress, but the ball's going forward. Good Lord. Okay, we'll get to that. What he's referring to is, and this is just yet another, there's no way the tush push lasts into next year.
It's not.
There's no chance it's getting voted back in.
I don't even know if it's right, but it's not going to last.
It's not going to. Well, the offsides, remember when the Eagles did it, was it 4 times in a row? They did it earlier this year?
4 times.
That was the end of it.
Yep.
When they did that, it was the end of it. But yeah, and then there's the offsides, right? They move early, not the offsides, but they move early, and then that never gets called. But now this one yesterday, Jalen Hurts completely gets the ball knocked out, but the whistle already blew. And so the Giants are just losing their minds over this. But so you can't lose, basically.
Dude, I said it earlier when we brought this up, a couple weeks ago. Here's my problem, though, is it's still 2 separate issues. Officiating is not a tush push issue. They just because they're having problems doing their job on this play doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the play.
As I've said many times, they are coming up with all the wrong reasons to ban the tush push. And the only reason that should be is defense players don't get to push their own players. That's all they need to say.
I just don't even get I've agreed with you on that. I don't even get the argument's getting worse though. It's just more blown calls are stacking up. It's a worse argument.
Jason Stark, that touchdown catch mattered to some. Talking about the Packers last one. Excuse me, the Steelers last one. He said Rodgers over 1.5 touchdown passes. # cash it. D-Gen Southern Gent, you think you ate the Falcons, talking to Bet in the Woods, listener on listener hate. Try being a lifelong fan of them. At least you don't shudder when you see the numbers 28-3 side by side. And I don't know the contract implications, but how's Kirk Cousins even still on this roster? And then Scott New York Mess 16 pointing out Jim Nance. He goes, speaking of Jaden Daniels, did you hear Nance compare Knicks' numbers, wins, touchdowns, and yards to the number 1 and number 2 picks? Why throw Daniels in there when last year was awesome and he doesn't have the games played this year? Do better, Jim, he says. Kevin Norman, lost my remaining survivor on Bengals. The 2-point conversion throw to Davis to make it 38-32 was adamantly ruled incomplete by the ref on the goal line, but only had one camera angle. Thought we need conclusive evidence to overrule a call on the field. It wasn't there. Vomit emoji.
And then Judd for sure crossed the plane too, Gil. That was definitely over the plane.
That replay took a long time.
Yeah.
Judd O'Connor, Fields deciding to actually play football after the NBA gambling fallout. Launch the investigations. Everybody's got an angle. All right, what's next? Let's do it.
Early window Panthers at the Packers.
The one we skipped. Okay, Panthers at Packers. The 4-4 Panthers. How has this team won 4 games? Against the now 5-1-1 Packers. Carolina got rolled by Buffalo. I was wrong about what's the big favorite most likely to lose outright. I said Buffalo. Good God, no. 3-0 Buffalo. Carolina matriculated 2nd and 11 at the Buffalo 21. Dalton hit by Greg Rousseau. Fumble recovered by Christian Benford. Buffalo go up 6-0. Then it'll be 6-3. A little field goal fest early. Then Buffalo, 3rd play on their ensuing drive once it was 6-3. 3rd play, Cook for 64, touchdown. 12-3, Prater, extra point wide left. Then Carolina, 2nd and 7 at their own 32. Dalton picked by A.J. Epinesa. Point blank range, returns at 24 yards. Buffalo set up at the Carolina 1. Allen in 19-3. Late stages of the second quarter.
That was nice.
Then Carolina, 3rd and goal to Buffalo 4 with 17 seconds left. Dalton does the one thing you can't do. He took a sack. Fire drill. Fitzgerald misses a 32-yarder.
Can't take that sack.
Come on, Andy Dalton. Are you new to this league?
Right, yeah.
Second half, third quarter, first time Buffalo has the ball, first drive, 65 yards. Allen to Khalil Shakir for 54. A lot of yak, 26-3. Next time they'd have it. By the way, Josh Allen became with that touchdown pass the leader in career games with both touchdown passes and touchdown runs in a game. He's done it 46 times.
Were you surprised? Did you see that list?
Cam Newton was second.
Cam Newton second. Is Cam Newton number 2? Steve Young number 3.
Yeah.
Pretty far back. I think it was like 31.
Yeah. Because quarterback, he was like a running quarterback back then, but every quarterback runs more than Steve Young did then.
Right.
Now.
I don't think you're not. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been passed by a Lamar Jackson or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a Michael Vick wasn't on there.
Steve Young was phenomenal.
No, I know he was, but
Buffalo, it broke it open by then. Buffalo 9 plays 88 yards, Cook in from 21, 33-3. Anyway, on and on and on. 40-3. Your final score, 40-9. Buffalo crushes Carolina. So Carolina drops to 4-4. And then there's the Packers. In case you missed this game last night, it's a pretty interesting game because in the first half, it was kind of, I don't want to say all Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh sort of like it was a Chris Boswell fest. He had a 56-yarder to make it 3-0. Then Green Bay would have a 5-play, 67-yard drive. Love to Kraft. Tucker Kraft was amazing last night for 16 yards. 7-3 Green Bay. And then Pittsburgh, next time they had the ball, was a 3-and-out. It was a near pick on second down by Edgerrin Cooper. That could have spelled a different first half, but instead, Green Bay gets the ball back, and McManus misses a 57-yarder. It's short. And with that short field, Boswell would add a 50-yarder to make it 7-6 Packers. Then Boswell would add a 48-yarder to make it 9-7 Steelers. And then the next time Pittsburgh got the ball up 9-7, 9 plays, 84 yards, Rodgers to DK from 2 out, 16-7, as McManus goes wide left on a half-closing field goal try. So 16-7, Pittsburgh at the half. And you're thinking, Green Bay Packers, are you ever going to show up? Because, again,
I was getting furious.
After your first 2 games of the year where you look great against both Detroit and Washington, it's kind of been meh since, even in victory. And Jordan Love said, hey, you know that last pass I threw for a completion in the second quarter? Watch this. He ends up completing 20 consecutive passes at this point. First time Green Bay gets the ball. 3rd and 5 at their own 15. Love hit as he throws. Ball high up in the air. Total float job. Somehow Kraft comes down with it. And 59 yards later, he's at the Pittsburgh 26. 4th and 1 at the Pittsburgh 17. Love to Kraft for 7. 2 plays later, Love to Savion Williams from 7 out. 16-14 Pittsburgh. 8:48 left in the third quarter. Then Pittsburgh 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 38. Rodgers would fumble, or it would be fumble, would correctly be changed to an incomplete pass. Savvy play by Rodgers, where he knows he's toast. He knows the ball's sort of falling out, and he just throws it onto the ground because he thinks a running back should be there, and running back was.
Crafty vet move right there. Yep.
You know what they said over there? How about a Boswell 56-yard field goal? Good God, this guy is great. Does not get the respect he deserves. As much as we talk about it, he's truly incredible. 19-14 Pittsburgh, 5:34 left. But Green Bay is just unstoppable now. 10 plays, 78 yards. Love to Watson for 33. On 3rd and 7 from the Pittsburgh 40, the big play. Another play where it was just sort of like a float job. This time he wasn't hit. And Love just casually. Love has that Camilo Doval countenance about him. Camilo Doval, former relief pitcher for the Giants, now with the Yankees. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna stroll up to the mound. I'm gonna throw it 100 miles per hour, that kind of thing. Love does not look fazed by anything. He's like, I'm just gonna float this downfield 40 yards. So that was the 33-yarder to Watson. Then 2 plays later, Jacob around the outside in from 3 to Dobbs for 2 points, and all of a sudden it's 22-19 Green Bay. Early seconds of the fourth quarter, they look dead in the water in the first half. Micah then with a sack, so it's a Pittsburgh 3-and-out. Green Bay starts at the Pittsburgh 45 after a unsportsmanlike conduct. Now Pittsburgh starts to do very un-Steelers-like thing. They start to really lack discipline. There's an unsportsmanlike conduct. So Green Bay starts at the Pittsburgh 45. 3rd and 4 at the Pittsburgh 24. Love to Kraft to the house. 29-19 Green Bay, 10:57 left. Then DK Metcalf commits a stupid poking in the eye penalty. Another unsportsmanlike. So instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 17 at their own 18. Rodgers is sacked by Rashawn Gary. Green Bay would add a McManus field goal to make it 32-19 with 5:28 left. And then Rodgers to Gainwell, hit by Edgerrin Cooper, fumbles recovered by Javon Bullard. Green Bay with another McManus field goal, 35-19. And then that garbage touchdown we're talking about, Rodgers to Roman Wilson from 21 out, where he gets 3 feet down and then the ball's knocked out of his hands. Did he really even complete the catch? Probably not, but we learned that if he gets 3 feet down, it's not about, as long as the ground's not involved, you don't have to complete the catch. Anyway, Green Bay wins it by the score of 35 to 25. I will say Green Bay's an 8.5-point favorite hosting Carolina.
You are way off here. Packers open 11.5. It is out to 12. I see a 13 on the board here at Circa.
That's a lot of points,
A lot of points.
A lot of points. We'll put Jordan Love's amazing performance in context on the other side and guess some more lines. Coming up on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
The numbers told the story, they always do. It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 2 of a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. It's Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon. So far on the show, what we've had is a bunch of, to me, inflated spreads where they're begging you to bet these horrible teams. Begging you to bet the Titans.
Yeah, big dogs.
Begging you to bet the Panthers. Oh, my God. Do I really want to do that? We get tweets at beating the book. Bob C-137. It's like a city ordinance. I'm not a Vikings fan at all. However, for the sake of watchability, I hope they start a quarterback with 2 working arms. Yeah, that'd be nice. Carson Wentz was wincing the entire game against the Chargers. Poor guy. Pick 10.
Teaser leg of the century of the year of the week, Gil, for like the 4th time this year.
Oh, no. Pick 10. The problem with Daniels is he doesn't have the best ability, and that's availability. Well, I can't really argue with you on that. So far, it doesn't look so good this year. By the way, Daniels, McLaurin, and Debo have only played 2 games together this year. First 2 games of the year. That's
Yeah,
it.
he looked pretty good last season, though.
Yeah. Sean's Fox plays. If we ban the tush push, we better ban the O-line push on a 2-yard run where the guard and tackle push the guy down the field and the announcers say, look at that running back not giving up. So BS. It's the O-line doing a sled drill and the running back is a little kid going, wee. Steve the Proxy, with an average of 19 points of victory, someone should check on Chrissy, your beshpucha, on how reverse teasers went this week. Did I bet one this week? Of course not. Also got wiped out by Atlanta and local survivor leagues, being too cool for school, trying to save Buffalo and Kansas City. I hate Atlanta. A lot of Atlanta hate today.
Yeah.
And deservedly so. Michael Salvino. Was that Jackson Dart or Jeffrey Dahmer at yesterday's New York Giants presser? Did he look like Jeffrey Dahmer?
I don't know. I didn't see any Giants press conferences
I
yesterday.
didn't either. What was that we were just talking about off air? Oh, no, it slipped my mind. Oh,
Don't
You don't
know. I
Okay.
don't know. What were we just talking about?
That's where our brain is going. By the way, here's the Jordan Love in context, courtesy of OptaStats. This game last night from Jordan Love. Completed 20 consecutive passes, threw for 350-plus yards, threw 3+ touchdown passes, had 0 turnovers, took 0 sacks. Using all those parameters, no other quarterback in NFL history has done all of that in the same game until last night from Jordan Love.
Just wild. Like, I'm not going to say the guy looked bad in the first half, but like this Packers team has just, they haven't put together a whole game start to finish.
Yeah.
There have been times where they look like one of the best teams in the league.
And again, he's one of those guys where in college at Utah State, there was no one really who thought he was that great. But it's what we said on the numbers game for years and years. You get to hold the clipboard for a few years, somehow you turn out good in the end. It's really true in the NFL.
They flashed up that stat too last night of, and maybe Wire remembers it, but just how many snaps, the percentage of snaps that has been Love, Rodgers, or Favre dating back to 1994, whatever it was. It's insane.
You're touched.
It's over 90%.
You're touched
92?
by touched by the football gods.
92% of their snaps.
Yeah. Now imagine how spoiled that fan base is. I used to say this. I've said this many times about living in San Francisco. They had 21 years of Joe Montana and Steve Young. 21 years of it, right? It's very Packers-esque. Yeah. Maybe even better with those two. And then they downgraded to Jeff Garcia, who had the audacity to only make 3 Pro Bowls.
He sucks.
And they acted like they were just, this guy is so terrible. I'm like, I have Gus Frerotte and Heath Schuler. Thanks.
The Jeff Garcia conversation always was great, man. It was. Like, you hear that stuff about the Packers, though. It's the Browns, the Bears. Jeez, how many quarterbacks they've gone through.
For all these years, until Jaden, all these years. Look, I know what we were talking about. I mentioned the Aaron Rodgers heads-up play, where he was getting sacked. Yes. You know, his arm was clutched and he was barely holding onto the ball. He thought a running back, it turned out Jalen Warren was right there, so he just kind of throws it on the ground. So instead of a fumble, it's a really heady incomplete pass. And you were mentioning that and the Chase Brown. If you missed this in the Bengals-Jets game, there was a called flea flicker. I don't think I've ever seen this,
I've
Kelley.
never seen this.
And when Chase Brown went to pitch the ball back to Joe Flacco, he saw that there was a defender way too close to Flacco.
Yep.
So in his head, he audibled mid-play and was like, well, I'm not doing that. And he ran for like 9-10 yards.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
The Rodgers one, we've seen that type of stuff before, but like Rodgers, I think Rodgers very clearly knew he actually had a back right there.
I don't know that I've seen it in that much of a phone booth.
Oh, no, I'm with you there. I'm with, and I didn't, like, when I first saw it in live action, I was like, fumble. Then you see the replay.
I'm like, oh my God, that's incomplete.
Then you see the replay, and I'm like, all right, like, Rodgers did a good job of, like, not getting destroyed, and he's going to take an intentional grounding. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, there's somebody right there.
It's amazing.
And Chase Brown, if he just went down, I would have been like, that's probably a smart play right there.
Incredible.
But then he ends up, like, going around the outside and picking up 11 yards or whatever.
Around the outside. Next.
Early window Falcons at Patriots.
The Falcons. Kirk Cousins was 21 of 31 for 173. The Falcons were held to 213 total yards versus Miami. Only 45 rushing. Bydlon Robinson had 9 carries for 25 yards, and he lost that fumble. How did they not incorporate Bydlon more? How? By the way, we got a tweet about that. Where's that? Did that disappear? No, I can't find it. Anyway, there was a tweet about Bydlon. Oh, Gill, did you notice Bydlon kneed the football out of his own hands on that play? Could have prevented your struggle with the Dolphins player. And no, I am not going to attempt it. Oh yeah, that's right. That was just, I don't know how you go into a game like this. Remember the last Falcons game where who did the Falcons just lose to? The game before?
Niners, right?
Niners. And everybody was giving Robert Saleh all this juice on the broadcast. And I said, as much praise as they're giving Robert Saleh, they need to take Zach Robinson to task, the Falcons offensive coordinator. Zach Robinson needs to be taken to task again. How do you not get Bydlon the ball more? Seriously. That was so bad. Anyway, Atlanta's at New England. New England, all right, you Patriots fans, get it done against the Brownies. And the Patriots get to 6-2. They get to 6-2. 3-0 New England. Cleveland goes 6 plays, 70 yards, ends with a Malachi Corley for 3. Then Gabriel to Fannin Jr. from 18 out, 7-3 Brownies, 5:10 left first quarter. Then New England 3rd and 9 at their own 41. May picked point-blank range by Carson Schwessinger. Cleveland set up at the New England 34. They go nowhere. Schmidt misses a 47-yard field goal. New England would cut it to 7-6 halfway through the second quarter. And then the next time two times later they get the ball, New England set up by May to Boutte 21-yard hookup on 3rd and 23 that sets up a Borregales 42-yard field goal. 9-7 Patriots at the half. This is 2 weeks in a row where the Patriots have kind of played with their food the first halves of games against really inferior opponents or supposedly inferior opponents. But then the second half, they go nuts. First time New England has the ball. 7 plays, 77 yards. Travion for 27, the big chunk. Made a Hunter Henry from 7 out, 16-7 Patriots. Then Cleveland 3rd and 7 at their own 33. Gabriel picked by Robert Spillane. Never saw him. Returns at 33 yards. New England set up at the Cleveland 6. 3rd and goal to 1. Made a Diggs 23-7. A little more than halfway through the third. Then Cleveland 1st and 10 at their own 26. Gabriel picked deep by Jalen Hawkins. Amazing catch, by the way, on the pick. Maybe the catch of the day. New England 5 plays, 81 yards. Made to Boutte from 39 out, 30-7 Patriots. Last few seconds of the third quarter. That escalated quickly. And then Cleveland, after a Bryce Behringer 15-yard punt, they were set up at the New England 26. 3 plays, Gabriel to Njoku from 11 out, 30-13. 2-point try fails. New England would add one more. 2nd and 8 at the Cleveland 9. Travion fumbles. So Cleveland from their own 1, 2nd and 9 at the 2, intentional grounding in the end zone, 32-13. That's your final. May, 18 of 24 for 282. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 6 times, though. 5 by Myles Garrett.
Poor Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, who sets the record for the most sacks under the age of 30, by the way. New England outgained Cleveland 422-213. Okay, this is an interesting line to make. Because this represents, New England Patriots, a step up in competition. As much as we talk bad about the Falcons.
Man, are we sure?
Based on who New England's beaten, besides the Bills, throw the Bills is the one. But besides the Bills, everyone else has sucked. So yes, this is a step up in competition for the Patriots. So this can't be more than 3. It's got to be New England -3.
Oh, it's more than 3. It is open 4.5 out to 5. 5.5.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to take the Falcons?
Have fun.
Can I do that?
This Falcons team is
they're
still,
so frustrating.
Still, and I think I've said this 4 weeks in a row, the toughest team for me to figure out in the NFL. And every week that goes by, they might be bad. They just might be bad. That's where I'm at.
New England's how big of a favorite are they?
You can get 5.5 on the Falcons at multiple places right now.
I think that's a bet. Sorry, I got to do it.
And
the only person I'm apologizing to is myself.
I don't know why you'd rush.
No, I don't either. All this Patriots hype.
Yeah, all this Patriots hype. Falcons after that blowout yesterday. You might see 6.
I mean, he's the greatest quarterback who's ever lived, right?
I bet you see a 6 this week.
I'll take it. I will wait. You're right, but that's your first guessing line's official play.
Yeah,
the Falcons.
Yeah. I don't think there's any reason to play that right now. I mean, I guess you're going to have to. Drake London news will track this week, right? That will be something to keep an eye on. I bet you see a 6 on that game with all the Patriots love coming.
Again, competition matters. Oh. And the Patriots don't play. The rest of their schedule's pretty easy, too. They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to be a playoff team. And Drake May is good at football. But everybody relax. They haven't beaten anybody besides the Bills.
Drake May, while we have a minute.
Yeah.
Updated MVP odds, Gill.
Oh, God.
Patrick Mahomes, plus 125. Josh Allen back to second on the board, plus 350. Or maybe he was still second last week, but it drifted. Whatever. He's gotten shorter again to 350. Drake May, plus 475. Under 5-1. And then a big drop off to Baker and Stafford at 11-1.
Drake May beating all those bad teams is that much shorter than Baker Mayfield, who has performed miracles with backups?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Sure. And I like Drake May, but it's just out of hand. You know what it is? It's because I watch Red Zone, and Scott Hansen is ridiculous.
Yes, you are getting skewed by that.
I am getting skewed by that. I admit I am getting skewed by that because it is so comical. You could not believe it. More guessing lines. Falcons are going to be a play. Good God.
Did you know your credit card points and miles can lose value to inflation? Credit card companies often reduce the redemption value of your points and miles. Now, imagine a credit card with rewards that can grow in value. With the Gemini credit card, you can earn Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptos instantly with no annual fee. Every swipe at the store or gas pump earns you instant rewards deposited straight to your account. Plus, sign up now for a $200 Bitcoin bonus to kickstart your rewards. Visit Gemini.com/card today. Check out the link in the description for more information on rates and fees. Again, if you're looking to invest in Bitcoin but don't know where to start, the Gemini credit card makes it easy.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Don't forget to check out the Sharp Plays, unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, and alerts directly from the pros. SharpPlays.com. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Love y'all. Y'all the best. Vegas regular. I missed the memo that Terry Rozier was calling plays for the Falcons and that Jake Ferguson hooked up with Dak's wife. 8 carries and 1 target, respectively. Utterly ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot that doesn't make sense, man. I'm with you. Jeff Staples. What can the league do about the premature whistles? It cost Antoine Winfield. Oh, we'll get to that. That was insane. It cost Antoine Winfield and the Bucs 2 touchdowns. Well, I don't know about the second one. It didn't cost them the second one, but it certainly cost them the first one. And the Giants, a huge turnover. How about at least treating it like an offsetting penalty and have a do-over once they realize they missed the call? You see that first? There was the Bucs had a defensive touchdown, but the whistle blew. So they're like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yep.
And the game was still like close at that point. 3 Jack H, 3-1, 3-1. Oh, Gill. All this Patriots hate. They can only play who's on their schedule. You're right. Props to you for possibly trusting the Falcons again this week, though. Thank you. He says, hashtag Mayday all day. Bob Sacamano says Falcons, he means plus 5.5. He says Pats are 6-2 ATS, by the way, tied with the Colts for league leader. James, NTU 89. I think you're letting your May hate. I don't hate him. Cloud your judgment on the Pats. Good luck if you bet the Falcons, LOL. By the way, the more you guys talk about like the Pats are going to run them out of the building, the more I love the Falcons pick. The Falcons, you ready for this? The Falcons are better at every position besides quarterback than the New England Patriots. Well, let's just do it by unit. They're better on offense. They're better on defense. Now, their coaches might suck. That I grant you. Zach Robinson is ridiculous. But talent-wise, I will take both units on the Falcons over the Patriots. J&J Watering Hole, holding a Jonathan Taylor ticket at 60-1. I'm biased, but how can he not be shorter than the now 20-1? I know it's a quarterback league, but at least year to date, there is no one more deserving of the award. I think he's talking about MVP, obviously, here.
Yeah, he's minus 225 for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, again, we had Aaron Schatz on the Megapod last week, J&J, and again, he's not all 50 voters, but he is one of them. And his whole thing is quarterback's MVP and Offensive Player of the Year is a non-quarterback. And the reason that he's so adamant about a quarterback being MVP, because through the prism through which he looks at football, quarterback is so much more valuable a position that it is virtually impossible for any non-quarterback in his mind, the way he views the NFL, the way he views the sport, to have any other position get the MVP. So just letting you know one person's thing. Primetime, Cowboys_Cubs1. Yo, hey, man. Looking forward to hearing Gill's speech when he presents May for induction to Hall of Fame, which obviously will happen while he's still an active player. Gill loves the Drake. Stop hating on Scott Hansen, man. Peace and love. By the way, good performance by your Cowboys yesterday. Primetime. Yeah. Here's the thing. If the Falcons beat the Patriots, and let's say they do it convincingly, I'll be the one defending Drake May next week. Because y'all will turn on him. Be like, oh, I don't know, maybe he's not that good. Right? The mainstream media, maybe not you Drake May lovers, but the mainstream media will turn on him. Well, maybe we were premature. I'll be like, no, he's still great. He's still really good at football, but just premature. What's next?
Can I bring up one other annoying broadcast thing that also pops up on Red Zone?
I love annoying broadcast things.
You got to tweet about this. I really didn't think they were going to make as big a deal about it again this year. National Tight Ends Day.
Oh,
Mother of God!
Was it Ryan Thompson on Twitter called this?
Yeah, well, they did. Yeah, we got a couple tweets before the game.
He's like, how many? I set the over/under on National Tight Ends Day at 31.5, and then he added, he goes, for those who celebrate. That's their big joke about it. Yeah.
So here's the problem with it, especially too, is I remember picking up on this last year, and then it rolled right into this year. Is Scott Hansen knows he's going to go into a touchdown right from a tight end. He's setting up the play. So he'll mention the National Tight Ends Day, but of course the broadcast mentions it too. So you hear it twice. It's not just once. Man, it's bad. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
49ers at the Giants, still the early window.
All right, Niners I completely got wrong. For as good as the Packers went, as good as the Broncos went, as good as the Chargers went, this one was just horrible. And it was horrible from the start. And it's also one of these where like it corroborates Stevie Fezzik's, it's clearly the right side. Right now you can't argue with him. But if it didn't work out that way, we'd never hear about it. San Francisco drops to 5-3, and they do so in horrible fashion. They're down 3-0 to Houston. Houston has this long first drive that almost takes 10 minutes. 3-0 Houston. 16-play drive. San Francisco punt. By the way, first time San Francisco punt. Then Houston, Stroud to Marks for 50, mostly Yak the big chunk, sets up another Fairbairn field goal, 6-0, early seconds of the second quarter. Here are the first quarter stats for you. Ready for this?
Yes.
13-16 in time of possession. I don't know if you know this, but there's only 15 minutes in a quarter. 13-16 to 144. 138 to 18 in total yards, 23 to 4 in plays, 6-0 in first downs. San Francisco 3 and out. Houston, 10 plays, 82 yards. Stroud to Jaden Higgins from 12 out, wide open, 13-0. Texans halfway through the second quarter. Now it's 230 to 25 in total yards. 19 minutes and 12 seconds to 3 minutes and 16 in time of possession. 33 to 7 in total plays, 10-0 in first downs. San Francisco 3 and out. Fairbairn field goal, 16-0. Closing seconds of the second quarter. I could keep updating these stats. They just get more and more ridiculous.
It's crazy. The number of plays there alone they ran in the first half was insane.
At this point, 2406 to 456 in time of possession, 297 to 30 in total yards, 14-0 in first, 43 to 10 in plays. 10
plays.
10 plays. I'm like, this is worse than the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then,
like, where did we just see this?
And then San Francisco gets this Brian Robinson Jr. 46-yard kickoff return plus a face mask tacked on. So they set up at the Houston 35. Mack to Bourne for 18 to start. 3 plays later, 3rd and 10 to the Houston 17. Mack to Kittle, touchdown, and it's 16-7 Houston into the half. And you're like, God, San Francisco is only 9 down? Halftime stats, 299 to 65 total yards, 14 to 2 first downs, 45 to 14 in plays, 24-31 to 5-29 in time of possession. That is the biggest first half gap in time of possession since 2009.
Incredible.
Third quarter, more of the same, 3.5 for San Francisco. Houston, 12 plays, 94 yards. Stroud to Xavier Hutchinson from 30 out, 23-7, halfway through the third quarter. Do you want me to update those stats again?
Yes. Keep doing it. It was incredible.
30-38 in time of possession to 6:53, 57 plays to 17, 393 to 72 in total yards, and 19 to 2 in first downs.
See, and this is why the Texans would. It's why the Texans will be a thing against mediocre to bad competition, because the defense has the potential to be this suffocating.
But this, I get it. The Niners have injuries, right? But this is the same team that beat the Rams on that Thursday night and destroyed some of our survivor plays.
Kittle, McCaffrey, I mean, those guys roll out there. We've talked all the past few weeks about how good Mac Jones has looked.
All right, San Francisco finally wakes up at this point. 12 plays, 76 yards, 3rd and 17 at the Houston's 27. Mac to Juwan Jennings for 25, then Mac to Tongas from 2 out, touchdown. Then DeMarcus Robinson for 2. And suddenly it's a one-possession game. After all that, 23-15 Houston, closing seconds of the third quarter, but they'd add a Fairbairn field goal to make it 26-15. Then another 3-and-out from San Francisco. But the next time San Francisco got the ball, 1st and 10 at the Houston 29, they're matriculating, down 11. Mac picked at the goal line by Kamari Lassiter with 1:56 left in the game, where he gets completely smacked in the face by Will Anderson. There's no replay assist for that, apparently. No call.
Nope.
There's your ball game. Houston wins it. They win it. Just destroyed San Francisco. Who are they playing? San Francisco? The Giants?
Yes.
Giants lose to the Eagles. Philly, second place, 2nd and 10 at their own 35. Saquon for 65 yards, touchdown, 7-0. Eagles, 17 seconds into the game. Then it'd be then Elliott would try a 58-yard field goal, doinked off the right upright, and the Giants would come back and tie the game. 6 plays, 52 yards. Dart to Scatabo from 18 out, 7-7, 2:56 left in the first quarter. But Philly, 4th and 3 at the Giants 46, Hurts for 5, and then the play that everybody's talking about. 4th and 1 at the Giants 11, a Tuchus push where Hurts gets the ball knocked out, but progress ruled. Whistles blow. First down. 2 plays later, Hurts to Saquon from 9 out, 14-7. Daboll's losing his mind. And by mind, I was going to use the other word, but then I remembered I was on the radio. Giants then, 2nd and 16 at their own 42. This is where it gets worse. Dart intended for Scatabo. Leg caught under the defender. Leg contorted a la Dak Prescott from a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Ankle dislocation, carted off. Season over. Giants would add a field goal to tie to close it to 14-10, but then the Eagles, 7 plays, 58 yards to Devontae for 11 and 12 on the drive. Hurts to Goddard from 6 out, 21-10 at the half. It would get to 24-10, then 24-13. They trade field goals. And then Saquon, a 28-yard run where he kind of got hurt at the end of the third quarter. Not sure what his status is right now. 6 plays later, Hurts to Goddard from 17 out, 31-13 Eagles. They would end up winning this 38-20 after leading 38-13. Bad loss for the Giants, obviously, with losing Scatabo. That's the real. I mean, this is after losing Malik Neighbors a couple weeks ago. Now they lose Scatabo, and now the 2-6 record. Maybe that 5.5 is still in play. The under, the pre-flop 5.5 under with all these injuries. I'll say the Niners -4 at the Giants.
Niners 2.5 to 3-point favorites right now.
I might go Niners. Is Wayne Brady really going to have to take the Falcons and the Niners this week? I think I might have to. 2.5, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Coming back, looking for value, guessing lines week 9 in the National Football League. It's a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
For the first time, Profit X is offering a first-time purchase promo. Get up to 20% back in profit cash alongside their new RFQ, request for quote parlays, same-game parlays, and lower 1% commission. That's a 1% commission. Profit X delivers transparent market-based pricing, no hidden markup. Available in 40 states and in beta with early access for VSiN listeners. Use code VSiN to get started. Terms apply. Gotta be 21 and over. We get tweets. Beating the book. Always appreciate y'all. This is from Murphy11821. Okay, guys, I have to comment on Atlanta. I'm a longtime listener and several times thought that the entire VSiN team was way too high on Atlanta, and yesterday proved out. I was going to let it, but there goes Gill again. Atlanta sucks. Okay. All right. So I'm I should do my screenshot thing on all these for next week. We'll see how it goes. Filthy the Kid. I know there's listeners who don't know or probably don't ever hear the Wayne Brady reference, but can you explain it for them and for my entertainment? Are you familiar with the Wayne Brady reference?
Yeah, but you're also like, you're going to have to go Google that one.
Well, let me just try it in 20 seconds.
Sure.
So Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show made fun of Wayne Brady once, and it was really offensive to Wayne Brady and kind of true. And Wayne Brady pointed it out to Chappelle's right-hand man, and it got back to Dave, and Dave was like, to Dave's credit, he was like, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. And so they worked with Wayne Brady to figure out how they could put Wayne Brady in a subsequent Chappelle show, and they figured it out, and the conceit was, instead of making Wayne Brady, the initial joke that was offensive to Wayne Brady was that Wayne Brady was cast as less than sort of, well, I don't want to get into this part, but basically what they did was a hard 180-degree turn on when he actually did appear on the show, and he was super. He was so hard that it shocked Chappelle in the sketch, and so it comes down to some of that.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. No, I don't know if that was a good explanation.
No. Hey, the skit is fantastic. You should go watch it.
Yeah.
Gill, I'm proud of you that you had the confidence to go into it like that.
And then I stopped right in my tracks. Win one for Drew. Speaking of the Falcons, found out yesterday after using them on one of my Survivor entries that their OC, Zach Robinson, is in the running for the OK State head coaching job. Might be why their game plan was trash yesterday. Forgot it's that time of year to look out for coaches with a foot out the door. Yeah, but he sucked the week before too. Was he okay? Was he OK State? Maybe he was the OK State candidate at that point too.
I'm not saying they suck or they're great. Nobody can explain this team that I'm going to believe, though. This Falcons team. We have seen them look so bad and so good at different times this season. They are not a team I'm interested in betting against or on at all.
3 Jack H 3131. Are we on the verge of a news segment? What makes Gill and Kelley angry? Gill can talk about Dave Ross and the Patriots. What do I have against Dave Ross? Why do people keep wedging Dave Ross?
I hate Dave Ross.
I love Dave Ross. Kelley can talk about nonsensical parlays and Scott Hansen. I'm usually the Scott Hansen guy.
Yeah. Come on. Especially recently.
John Blom. Hey, Gill and Kelley, don't do it with the Niners. Lifelong Niners fan, but objectively looking at the board, Giants plus 2.5 looks like the best bet. Giants' best unit is the D-line, and the Niners can't pass protect. Next Sunday is going to look like a replay of yesterday. Well, again, I just lean on the guessing lines instincts record.
Also, just because I know he does listen. Scott Hansen, we love you, by the way. Like, this is, we make these jokes, and you have one of the toughest jobs in sports. We know you listen to VSiN. We love Red Zone. We have it on every Sunday.
I love Scott Hansen, but I don't. Here's the thing. Scott Hansen loves Drake May in a way that every human being should love someone else.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I love you, Scott Hansen. I especially love the dynamic kickoff and the Octobucks. I also love the witching hour. And anything else that comes out of your
Witching
mouth.
hour is fantastic.
Jesse Welch, I cannot wait until we get to the Colts breakdown just so I can hear about how magical Jim Bob Cooter's offense is. Well, I already did the Colts. There wasn't much to talk about. They just destroyed them.
Jim Bob Cooter's become one of these things where it's kind of funny every 4 years for some reason. His name pops back up, you know? Every 4 or 5 years.
What's Will's ticket? 150 to 1 on him?
I think so. Something long.
What's next?
I have no idea what's next. Colts at Steelers?
Yeah.
Colts at Steelers.
Colts we just talked about.
Window.
Colts crushing the who did the Colts crush again? I already forgot. Titans. That's easy to forget. Daniel Jones, that is. Danny Dimes, 21 of 29 for 272, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. Jonathan Taylor, 12 for 153 and 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 catches for 21 yards and a touchdown. 420 total yards for the Colts. And then the Steelers yesterday in defeat last night to the Giants. They fall to 4-3. Still lead that division. But I just want to say it's only 2 in the loss column over teams like the 2-5 Ravens.
And Ravens are now your favorites.
As they should be. Still can't play any defense. Rodgers, 24 of 36 for 219, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. The Steelers allowed 454 total yards of offense to the Green Bay Packers. Colts, well, you can kind of figure this out, right? If the Packers were 3-point favorites,
Yep.
the Colts have got to be about a 4.5-point favorite, right?
Well, wow. I guess I kind of went the other way on that. No, it is. It's 3.
Okay.
It's just 3 again.
I thought it'd be a little more.
And I actually thought it would be a little less.
So it's the same.
It's the same.
I'm totally betting the Colts.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay away. If it was under 3, I'd be there with you.
Colts.
I got the Packers a little higher than the Colts. You do too in your power rankings, right?
I do, but the way that I felt the market thought of them was higher, though.
Right.
See, the Colts to me are every bit as good as their record.
Yeah.
I can't say that about the Patriots, but I think the Colts are every bit as good as of their 7-1 record. All right, so Colts might be a play too. I'm making these plays right now. Good God.
That team was, I mean, you knew they were going to be outside of the quarterback position, right? Like none of this has been too shocking. It's not like the defense for Indianapolis has been exceptional, but they've been good enough. The offensive line is one of the best in the league. We kind of knew that heading into the year. The skill group's great. The skill group's amazing. It's just what were you going to get out of quarterback? Daniel Jones been awesome.
I just bet the Colts. I just bet the Niners. I'm holding off on the Falcons. I want to see if that gets higher because I'm only seeing 5 on the Falcons. By the way, Underdog NFL, to put Jonathan Taylor in context for everybody, every player with 850-plus rushing yards, 12-plus rushing touchdowns through 8 weeks in a season. This is the list. Jim Brown, Terrell Davis, Eric Dickerson, Priest Holmes, and Jonathan Taylor. That's the list.
That's wild. Yeah, minus 225 to win Offensive Player of the Year right now. Completely justified.
But if there's people out there, right? If there's people out there who are going to say, there it is, Jonathan Taylor's setting new record, right? Look at that company he's keeping. Of course he's the MVP. I just point you to Lamar Jackson last year, who rewrote the record books for quarterbacks. Rewrote it in so many different categories. Not the MVP.
Yeah, they had that whole, the NFL and NBA had that whole thing going on for a while, though. Like, oh, we gave it to Josh Allen, now it's Lamar Jackson's turn. Nikola Jokic, now it's Joel Embiid's turn. That's a reason
not to give somebody an MVP award?
No, not at all. Not at all. But that's the reasoning behind that, right?
Next.
It doesn't make any sense. All right, still in the early window, battle of the defenses. Broncos at the Texans.
Ooh, that's a good game. 6-2 Broncos, 3-4 Texans. Broncos, the guessing line's instinct was correct. And all we heard was Cowboys talk all week. Broncos, 1st and 10 at their own 46. Knicks picked by Trequezie Bridges. Dallas from their own 48. They get a big 29-yard Dak to Lamb hook up for 1st and goal at the 3, but Javonte for 2, incomplete. Then 3rd and goal at the 1, false start, incomplete. Aubrey, 24-yard field goal, only 3-0 Dallas. Missed opportunity. Denver, 5 plays, 74 yards. Knicks to Troy Franklin for 26 on 3rd and 2 at their own 34. 2 plays later, R.J. Harvey for 40, touchdown. Denver, 7-3, 8:13 left in the first quarter. Next time Denver got the ball, 4 plays, 62 yards. Knicks to Franklin from 25 out, 14-3 Broncos. A couple times later where Dallas has the ball, 59 yards. Dak to Schoonmaker for 14 to the doorstep. 2 plays later, Javonte in against his former team, 14-10 Broncos. 7:29 left in the second quarter, but Denver right back. 6 plays, 65 yards, 32-yard PI, then Knicks to Ingram for 11 to the 1. 3 plays later, Harvey direct snapped in from the 1, 20-10 Broncos. Personal foul makes him try the 2-point conversion from the 1, incomplete. Illegal man downfield anyway on that. Then Denver from their own 28 with 2:14 left in the second quarter, 7 plays, 72 yards. Knicks to Pat Bryant from 24 out. 27-10 Broncos with 39 seconds left in the quarter. And then Dallas, 1st and 10 at their own 48. Everyone anticipating Aubrey is going to get a chance to have a field goal try for the record. Instead, Dak picked by Jahdae Barron. By the way, Patrick Surtain leaving the game in the first half. So the Broncos did this without him for most of the game. Third quarter, Dallas 4th and 3 at the Denver 27. Dak to Pickens for 17. Tiptoe catch eventually in Javonte from 1. 27-17 Broncos. 8:10 left third quarter. But then Mims Jr. returns the ensuing kickoff 47 yards. Dobbins for 25. Would-be touchdown nullified by a pick play. Doesn't matter. Next play, Sutton dropped a would-be touchdown pass. It did matter. So they had to settle for a field goal. Lutz, 42-yard field goal, 30-17 Broncos with 6:02 left in the third quarter. At this point, I'm thinking maybe what will happen to the Broncos is what they did to the Giants last week. But instead, Dallas, 1st and 10 their own 40. Jaden Blue hit by Alex Singleton, fumble. Somehow they say that Brock Hoffman of Dallas recovered it. There's no chance he did. They had to punt anyway. Denver, 12 plays, 84 yards. Knicks to Sutton for 39. The big play, 6 plays later, 3rd and 6 at the Dallas 7. Knicks to Franklin, touchdown, 37-17. And the route was on for good. 44-17 is where it got eventually. Garbage touchdown, 44-24. I will say Denver, I'll split the difference between the 3 and the pick'em. Denver minus 1.5 at Houston.
I believe you were right on. Just checking 1 to 1.5 out there right now. And for those interested, 39.5 your total.
Oh. coming back. Looking for value on the guessing lines right here on A Numbers Game.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander, Kelley Bydlon. We get tweets, beating the book. Steve Gronwald.
What's up, Steve?
At Gronwald Steve. Gill, do you think the Spartans will replace Jonathan Smith as head coach before the end of the season? Who could we replace him with, since there are already 8 open head coaching positions, including LSU, Florida, and Oklahoma State? What a year in college football with all these coaches going. By the way, I have no knowledge of whether Michigan State would do it during the year.
Well, as you know, Gill, this has been quite a topic for me all season long, Jonathan Smith and whether he should have his job or not.
Brian,
did I even get the name right?
Brian, you did.
Okay,
Brian
okay.
Kelley, the latest to get canned with a $50 million plus buyout.
I thought I heard 58 this morning.
I think it was, yes.
That's sweet. 54.
54 is the exact number.
Thanks, Danny.
I just went with 50 plus. You get the idea. Kelley Bydlon, I would take a firing right now if I had a $50 plus million buyout. Fire me.
Bro, this is all going to happen. All you're going to see one of these days, you're just going to see some picture from at Kelley Bydlon on Twitter, or it's going to be one of these ridiculous jackpots that I randomly, drunkenly put $20 into. And then you're just never going to see me again. And I'm going to be on some island in the Caribbean, Captain Ron style.
I love plus money. I love you, Gill. I love you, Kelley. I love you, Crackman. I love you, Red Zone. I love you, Hansen. I love you. Gamble, gamble. That's his whole tweet. I don't know what he means.
That's a great tweet.
I don't know what he means by it.
That's a great tweet.
Gamble,
Gamble.
Oh, New York Mess 16 has a good point. He says, last week we were questioning whether it was a road versus home or turf versus grass difference for Penix. With him not playing this last home game, to help answer the question, are you still confident in taking him on the road on grass? This is a fair question. It's fair to me because I think the Falcons have better skill position players everywhere and a better defense. I think they're better everywhere than the Patriots. And the Patriots have feasted on poor competition. It's amazing how sure people are the Patriots should be laying all these points against the Falcons. Have you guys watched this league before? Nothing matters from one week to the next. Nothing. Anyway.
Kirk Cousins got plenty of experience on grass.
Kirk Cousins, man. That was one of those where everybody's like, I can't. Kirk Cousins getting paid all this money. He's backup. Got to be the best backup. Yeah, he hadn't played in a while. What's next?
4:05 Eastern. Plenty of tickets available. Jaguars at the Raiders.
Ah, yes. This is one of those, hey, you want to go to the Raiders game? No, I do not. But thanks for asking. Jags idle, Raiders idle, 4-3 Jags, 2-5 Raiders. Here at Allegiant, I'll say Jags -3.5.
Jaguars -3, I believe. Yeah, 3. We're getting heavy on the juice though. 3, 120.
Only 3. Wow. Next.
Yeah, I kind of had the same reaction yesterday at Open. This was a flat 3 at Open. I had the same reaction, Gill. Did it get a bet out of me though? No, it
same
didn't.
with me.
It didn't.
Like
it might be a contest play though. If we're still at 3.
Again, what's interesting about this version of guessing lines today is that we have isolated a few games where there is some line quote unquote value. I just have no interest in betting the Jaguars, the Dolphins, or the Panthers. None. Or the Bengals. Or the Panthers at the numbers.
Plus, I don't know if your breaking news alarm didn't go off this morning, but the Raiders did add Tyler Lockett. So,
oh, well, now that you've said that.
Super Bowl.
Now that you've said that. Next.
4:05 Eastern. 2 early games to get out of the way for the next one. Saints at Rams.
The 1-7 Saints and the 5-2 Rams. Rams were idle this week. And the Saints, you know how we say like a team, maybe even they're not that good, but they banked the wins already. It's the opposite with the Saints. They're probably not this bad, but they banked the losses already. They cannot win football games. 1-7 Saints. They lose yesterday to the injury-riddled Bucks. Saints 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 41. Rattler hit by Anthony Nelson. Fumbles recovered by Levante David. Couldn't do anything with it. Tampa Bay, second time they got the ball. Scoreless game. From their own 8, 1st and goal at the 1. They get all the way. They go 91 yards. 1st and goal at the 1. White, stuffed first down. Rashad White, stuffed second down. White, third down, stuffed again. 4th down, Sean Tucker, no gain. 4th and goal. Done. 4 and out. What a goal line stand by the Saints. We're halfway through the second quarter. It's still scoreless. A 17-play drive, nada for the Bucks. New Orleans, second and 1 at their own 10. Rattler picked point blank range by Anthony Nelson, who had caused the fumble earlier, shoves Rattler down on the return touchdown, pick 6. 7-0 Tampa Bay, 6:41 left in the second quarter. And then New Orleans, a couple times later, first and 10 at their own 34. First play of the drive, Rattler to Rashid Shaheed for 12. This is the play we're talking about. Fumbles, hit by Jamel Dean, recovered by Antoine Winfield, to the house. A second defensive touchdown for the Bucs, except for the whistle was blown, nullifying the return for a touchdown. So Tampa Bay from the New Orleans 47, third play, Young, that's Chase Young, a Chase Young sighting, sacks Baker, fumbles, Young recovers. So instead of 14 to nothing, it's 7-0, and then New Orleans gets a Group A field goal to make it 7-3. So that's a what is that? It's a 10-point swing. 7-3 Tampa Bay at the half. Egregious mistake by the officials. Then third quarter, Tampa Bay, first time they have the ball, 10 plays, 73 yards. Baker to Tez for 16, to White for 17, to Tez for 12, to Otten for 21, to the 1. Then incomplete. Tucker stuffed. Then incomplete. 7 consecutive plays for the Buccaneers at the New Orleans 1, where they got 0 yards. Finally, on the 8th play, after being 0 for 7 from the 1, 4th and goal from the 1, Tucker in, 14-3 Tampa Bay. 10:08 left in the third quarter. Next time they'd add a McLaughlin, field goal, 55-yarders, 17-3. McLaughlin from long range is money. And then at 17-3, late in the third quarter, New Orleans finally says, Spencer Rattler, why don't you take a seat here on the old bench? Let's see what Tyler Shuck can do. He completes his first pass after 7 years of college football, his first pass on his first throw. But 3rd and 3 at their own 48, Shuck picked by Antoine Winfield Jr., who really stripped it from the intended receiver. It wasn't really Shuck's doing. Tampa Bay from midfield, McLaughlin, 52-yard field goal, makes it 20-3. Then New Orleans turnover on downs. Tampa Bay set up at the New Orleans 44. McLaughlin, 54-yard field goal, 23-3. They would win it by that score. Atlanta. The New Orleans Saints held Tampa Bay to 212 total yards, and they got crushed 23-3. Just one of them days.
Yeah.
-3 in turnovers. That will do the trick. By the way, I don't know that we learned anything about Tyler Shuck in terms of being good or bad. I'm not sure we learned.
I don't think we did at all. I guess I'm leaning towards he gets the start this week after you made that call mid-game, but we don't know.
Rams hosting the Saints. I'll say Rams by 10.
You are light?
I'm always light on these.
Dude, this is raced out to 13.5. There was a 14 on the board at stations in town.
I have been light on all of the massive spreads this week. How many big spreads do we have? Good God.
We have
like double-digit spreads. How many do we have? 2 or 3?
3.
Wow, it's that week. If you thought yesterday wasn't entertaining in the NFL, wait till next week.
Only had the Rams and Packers lined up for this week in Survivor. Real nice, Gill. Real nice.
Sorry about that.
I bet the under on the Rams and Saints under 44.5.
How are you doing after your Survivor elimination? You okay? Did you take it hard yesterday? Do you see it coming?
I have taken it better than any year in Survivor.
Why do you think?
Because I was very aware what kind of team I was going into the week with.
Bengals.
And you're talking about one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Like Will Hill and I were talking at halftime of those games. He was on the Falcons. He was checking in with me because he thought I was on the Falcons too. I told him I pivoted to the Bengals. But even at that point, I was like, both these defenses, Miami defense and the Cincinnati defense, I'm like, they're both so bad. Like, I don't think either one of us is decided yet when it comes to Survivor. Unfortunately, for both of us, his was and mine wasn't.
Yeah.
It sucks though. Great contest. It was fun. It's
great contest.
So fun playing in it every year.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back
great
in
contest. Yeah. Want to squeeze one more in, or should we wait?
I think we got to wait.
We got to wait for that one. All right. Let me just ask you this, because I asked you this in some forum yesterday. Of all the outcomes yesterday, and we'll throw Thursday in as well, what is the most meaningful outcome in a week that was kind of, again, if betting didn't exist, kind of just a ho-hum weekend of the NFL? What was the most meaningful outcome?
Meaningful is a tricky word. Can I go with who I was most impressed by?
Yes, that's what I mean. Or whatever. That's a way to answer it.
Broncos, I played them in millions. I didn't bet them, though. A little bit of fishy line, but them stomping the Cowboys like that, I don't know if I was expecting to that degree. So impressive. And then Houston just suffocating the 49ers for a half of football. That was, look, for a team that needs to put some wins together to get back in the hunt in the AFC, that was huge. I mean, the Ravens handling the Bears like that with no Lamar.
I'm going to say Broncos and Packers because two teams that had a lot of doubters. Maybe they still do, but both came up with impressive wins.
Is this unfair to me to say Packers need to do more than that to impress me? Because I hold them in that high regard.
Yeah, that second half was pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Coming back, more games to get to, and then Adam Burke on the World Series tonight. Coming up.
The numbers told the story, they always do. It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of A Numbers Game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. It's Gill Alexander. That right there is my little buddy Kelley Bydlon, who this just in is 3 pounds shy of having lost 100 pounds of weight. I was going to use another word, but I decided to go with weight. 97 pounds down. Good for you, man.
Thanks, man.
219?
219.
We're waiting for you here at 260. Just pass me. I'm right here.
Might see you on Thursday.
Now, let me ask you this. Your family's coming in town, you said? And so you guys are going to eat the whole town. So you have to lose this before they come.
Well, it's either before or after, and we know it might take a while after.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I think I need to make some calls to some fighters around town this week. I need to learn how this whole cutting works. I need to do that over the next few days.
Just go jog with Greg Peterson like everybody suggests.
My knees would die.
Imagine asking him, hey, Greg, can I jog with you? He's like, sure.
You're like Greg Peterson. You know how excited and awesome Greg would be about that? If I just texted him out of nowhere, he'd be like,
so excited.
Absolutely. Where do you want to go? Or you can go on my normal jog with me. We start here at this time.
We get tweets. Blue Hen Bill. I've never bet no touchdown scored before, but I may do it for the Broncos and Texans. At worst, I'll make it a defensive touchdown. Brady was hilarious, by the way, but Chappelle's cocaine is a hell of a drug skit is the best. As Rick James said that. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James did not remember 5 years of his life. He could not recall 5 years of his life. Because cocaine was a hell of a drug. There's so many great Chappelle show moments.
No, but great moments in show history from today. Gil, no. I'll explain the Wayne Brady.
No, step aside, Kelley. I'll explain the Wayne Brady history.
Oh, it's great.
Jason Q. Kelley respectfully disagree. No guy in the league I'd put money on that has less experience with grass than Captain Kirk Cousins. He was saying grass. He's trying to point out Kirk Cousins may not be that kind of guy.
They're working on this golf crossover podcast, too. It's like, on the greens, green on the green or something like that. I'm really trying to work that in, Gil.
Andrew at Fix My Chip Game. When Tomlin's winning season streak finally ends this year and the playoff streak will now be 9 years without a playoff win, will Tomlin finally be on the hot seat? Whomever designed those jerseys last night should be fired immediately. They've worn those jerseys before. The Bumblebee jerseys.
Okay, wait. Actually, can we have a conversation about this real quick?
Yeah.
So, were they the same jerseys they've worn before?
They're
exactly. Different, right? They're different.
But it's still the Bumblebee thing.
No, correct.
Yeah.
So which leads me to they're so bad.
Yeah.
How do you possibly keep rolling out different editions of them? And are they all technically throwbacks?
Technically, yeah. Otherwise, what's the reason? What's the point?
I mean, I would hope so, but no, just end it. You have a perfectly fine uniform. Everybody universally agrees they are the worst uniforms on the planet. Stop. Please stop.
I had a Steeler fan or two in my ear last night. I was like, well, you're going to win your bet now that they're wearing those uniforms. The Packers.
Although I will say the Chargers, like mustard, like yellow on yellow, that's pretty bad too.
That one's tough to beat last night.
Yeah.
And then Scott, Kelley, whenever Gill gets lyrical, can you at least feign interest in his music interest? Just one of those days? You didn't hear just one of them days? You didn't get that one either?
I mean, like sometimes...
He doesn't know.
Most of the time, I just don't know people. Sorry.
He doesn't know.
And he's smooth with it.
All right, let's get through the last ones with these. What do we got?
I'm assuming he wasn't talking about Limp Bizkit, but
Nope. Monica. That's who I was talking about. What's next?
All right, the big one. Step aside. 4:25 Eastern, Chiefs at Bills.
There we go. We got a game.
Let's go.
The 4-3 Chiefs, who were idle. The 5-2 Bills coming off their shellacking of the Carolina Panthers. Buffalo, by the way, was +3 in turnovers yesterday against Carolina. They held Carolina at 244 total yards, outgained them 410 to 244. Your guy, Josh Allen, he barely had to throw the football. 12 forward passes completed, 163 yards. But 3 total touchdowns. Again, sets the record for most games with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. 46 times he's done that. Breaks the record he shared prior to that with Cam Newton at 45. Okay. I'm going to be wrong. Let me just say this in advance. I'm going to be wrong.
Whoa, you really think so?
I
actually thought this was a relatively easy number to set.
I said Kansas City -1.5. I split the difference between
you're right on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right on. This is Chiefs. It was like 1.5 pretty much everywhere it opens. I'm going to say slight Bills money has come in because I see more ones than 1.5s right now, but both plenty available.
I thought the Bills' love would be such that they would still be a slight favorite, but good. That's how it should be. Chiefs -1.5 on the road.
Yeah, I agree. No bet for me. I'm not rushing to cram Bills and teasers or anything this week. I think that line's pretty right on, and I really don't have much interest in it. A total is ticking up. We have, we're up to like 52.5 in that game. Just checking the board real quick. I think we have 3 games that are in the 50s.
The Bengals-Bears game, you mean?
No, this game is at 52.5 as well. We have 3 games that are in the 50s this week.
This one, Bengals-Bears, and?
One we haven't gotten to yet.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we have 4 games that are in the 50s because the Ravens-Dolphins is 50.5.
Yeah, I can see that too. Bengals-Bears to me is the one where I'm like, who's stopping who? Who's stopping?
I mean, the offense is like the Bears offense probably stops itself would be the answer to that.
Where do we stand on Caleb? We got a Caleb tweet. I didn't read it, but someone was just saying someone was killing Caleb.
I don't know. Am I completely done with him, Gill? No.
Jack Olaquire, our buddy, says, Gill, Olaquire brothers out here with Atlanta, but still got one survivor left thanks to Indianapolis. Also just saw a commercial where JVT was saying there's some hope for the Bears. He said, I still agree with Merrill Hodge on his Caleb Williams assessment. He's just not that good. I think with Caleb Williams he is better this year than he was before. There's no question he's better this year than he was last year. Yeah. Maybe that's the Ben Johnson effect. But I will say there's too many plays where Caleb Williams leans towards the frenetic. His happy place seems to always be him scrambling and making a hero play. Mm-hmm. And sometimes he does make a great hero play, right? A throw on the run or he runs for a first down, whatever it is. But like that shouldn't be your baseline. Right, you should be within the offensive structure, and I just feel like Caleb Williams too often is not. If that makes any sense?
No, it makes complete sense. I'm not completely out on him.
I'm not completely out,
and I think because we've said that about him in college, right? That was part of the concerns of him making the transition to the NFL. That very much looked to be a problem a year ago, and it's still something I think he deals with. However, I agree with you. I think he has gotten a little bit better, but is he? Yeah. Would you love to have a Drake May or Jaden Daniels instead? Sure, of course.
And I was just about to say, here's where I will give Drake May some love. You ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? I'm giving Drake May love in case you think I dislike him, which I don't. Caleb has better players around him, right?
Yes.
Probably has better offensive coaches around him.
Yes.
And
Drake May has vastly outperformed
Drake
him.
May doesn't like Drake May with actual players around him might be a sight to behold.
Yeah, he really might.
Yeah.
That's my biggest criticism on the Patriots. I feel like I've made that pretty obvious the past few weeks. I think Drake May's good, but like I think the rest of the team I've still got concerns about.
Yep.
Sunday Night Football?
Sunday Night Football. What we got?
Seahawks at Commanders.
Man, you got Commanders primetime every week, baby. As it should be. It's Marcus Mariota tonight against the Chiefs. Do you have any play in this game? Chiefs favored by 12.5?
No, however, we'll review final segment. I think I might put him in an old 10-pointer teaser for tonight and then this upcoming week.
Skins up to 22.5?
No. I was going to go the other way. Chiefs down to 2.5.
McLaurin and Debo both playing tonight, but it will be Marcus Mariota instead of Jaden Daniels. As far as the Seahawks at Washington next week, Washington has not played yet. Seahawks idle. I will say Washington, if they get Jaden back, I'll assume Jaden back. You know what they say about assuming, but it's not supposed to keep him out very long, this hamstring.
This is tough.
I make it less than 3. I said Washington minus 2.5.
Okay, so we are at, this opened everywhere 3.
On Washington.
No, on Seattle.
Okay.
Sorry, on Seattle. Sorry, I missed you. You put up Commanders. Yes, this opened everywhere Seahawks 3. And it has gone to 3.5 most places.
If Jaden is playing and you're giving me a 3.5, that'll be a play on Washington. But I got to know first if he's playing.
Gil, I did a little bit kind of like,
Are they assuming no Jaden with that line? That must be the difference here.
I mean, it feels like they are leaning that way.
Because if he's playing, there's no way it should be 3.5 at Washington. Stop it.
No, agreed. It will come down probably to like 2.5, something like that. I made a small bet on Seattle at 3 once I saw this morning this number starting to run to 3.5.
Although Washington can't play defense, they really are dreadful. Marshawn Lattimore has been nothing but a disaster.
Yep.
Since putting on that uniform. And Mike Sanistrill's not much better.
So this was one kind of like you're doing with your Falcons bet, right?
Yeah.
Like I put a small bet in at 3 because I was like, this is going to come back. As soon as Jaden gets cleared, this is coming back under the 3. But then the problem is this morning, this started to run out to 3.5. So I'm in kind of fully staked at 3.
But we don't know if he's playing, so
we have no idea. I mean, if you tell me Jaden Daniels isn't playing and I'm only laying 3 with Seattle, I think it's a great sign.
Skidden secondary really misses Jeremy Chin. They really miss Benjamin St-Juste. Frankie Louvu's not being used the same way. They got real problems on defense, Washington.
Yeah, this will be a short week for them too, right?
Yeah. Monday night football.
We have the Cardinals at the Cowboys.
2-5 Cardinals, 3-4-1 Cowboys. I will say the Cowboys by a tick more than 3. I'll say Cowboys by 3.5.
No. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe the movement on this game. It is open 3.5 most places, and we are down to 2.5 threes. I jumped in on the Cowboys yesterday at 2.5, Gil, because I thought this would sail past the 3. It looked like it was going that way, and now it's coming back in. There are 2.5s out there.
Wow.
Want to join me on the dark side with the Dallas Cowboys, the Dave Ross?
Disrespectful to the Cowboys. It's almost like they have no defense.
Almost. These are the teams they can smash, though. Going into Denver's a different story. At home against the Cardinals.
I really should play Dallas here, but I just can't with that defense.
Understandable.
So bad.
Are you interested in effortlessly growing your Bitcoin portfolio? I sure am. The Bitcoin credit card by Gemini earns you Bitcoin back on every purchase. Use it like any credit card. Buy lunch, gas, or your weekly groceries, and you'll earn up to 4% back instantly in Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptos straight to your account. All that with no annual fee, and right now you can grab a $200 Bitcoin welcome bonus. It's the easiest way to start building your Bitcoin stack. Go to Gemini.com/card to learn more. Terms apply. See the link in the description for more information regarding rates and fees.